You may need a new property survey. Oftentimes you may be living, if you're living in a condo or a townhome, that's a, horizontal property regime. You may not actually own the dirt. However, if you do, platted subdivisions have a copy of the plat, but sometimes you will want to be able to prove many times. For instance, I happen to know that the fence is on my property. If I want to move my fence, I know where it needs to move to. I'm a recovering land surveyor as well. In my past, I spent 6 years in the field as a land surveyor. So I have a specific affinity for that type of product. And there are many times, especially if you own anything that's not a platted subdivision, if it is any form of acreage whatsoever that could be questionable as to where the pins and the corners are, get it professionally surveyed before you go to market with it. Know where your property corners are. And again, when a prospective buyer comes to a property that may hold a, meets and bounds type property, you want to show them your corners. So oftentimes you can pay a land surveyor to just come out and mark your corners. That may be sufficient. But in the event that you've been there for quite a while and there are a lot of improvements and utilities and easements on the property, you may want to go ahead and pay for that product because the buyer will ask you for it if it's any whatsoever something that may come up of question. Okay. And that can really slow down your process if you're into a contracted agreement and you're trying to hustle around and find a surveyor on the fly. So just go ahead and if any whatsoever your property has corners and you would like to know where they are and where the improvements on the property sit, make it a point to get a professionally produced land survey. All right. See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.